this is DMG, and in this video we're going a bit crazy and we're going to be talking about the fantasy monster, the amorphous blob.
When the gods were born and the heavens were new, life was something that the godlings played with like toys in a toy box. Single-celled organisms being created, destroyed, merged and spread throughout the primordial soup of the world like a young child's playmat. One such creature has been there since the beginning, the popular plaything of the younger gods, the amorphous blob. Over time, this creature has been enlarged from its cellular beginnings to a monstrosity that spans the world. It's not a creature of great size, but a single creature of numerous disconnected parts, an immortal life form kept alive through its distribution across the globe. Amorphous blob parts are large creatures that look like a pitted fluid of ever-changing mass. This mass shrinks its way through the tightest gaps in walls, keyholes, and even through fine fabric. The pits on what can only be described as an oily skin are like taste buds that, for want of a better word, lick the surroundings as the blob moves. Blobs are completely blind as they have no eyes. An injured blob is just another blob as the pieces fall off the central mass as another amorphous blob part. These blobs form back together after a period as they travel the world looking for the rest of themselves. Historians writing on the prehistories of the world make little mention of the amorphous blob. Funny that. Its significance to the gods is not well understood, which is prone to happen when mortals try to understand the mysterious ways of the gods. Early histories tell of these fluidic masses roaming the countryside and the dark places, a constant search for itself. The fact that there is only one true blob is one that is well known amongst those who study such fantastical creatures. It is theorized that the amorphous blob has been split many thousands of times and will be forever doomed to attempt to find all its parts for the rest of time. It was there in the beginning, and it will be there in the end. Amorphous blob parts are found randomly in almost all types of terrain and even underwater. They feed on most organisms when in need of regeneration, especially after splitting. The process of consumption is a little strange. The blob literally lies on top of the food source and somehow sucks it dry. It is thought the taste bud-like pits on the surface of the blob act as digestive suckers. Blobs make short work of any food. Their huge mass lying on top of the prey makes them very difficult to defend against when pinned in this fashion. The blob never sleeps. It is not known whether it breathes, and it makes little more than a squelching sound when it moves. It cannot hear, but it does sense movement of air over its body mass. Whenever it detects another part of itself, it gives up what it was doing to go and investigate. The amorphous blob is entirely disorganized. All of its parts scour the world, searching for itself in all the nooks and crannies it can find. It will often traverse the same area several times in this never-ending investigation. When two parts of the blob discover one another, there is a merging which happens almost instantaneously. The new mass continues the quest to find the rest. Blobs are very different creatures to encounter. They are immortal and cannot be destroyed. They can only be subdivided into smaller parts. However, these parts will eventually merge back together. When attacking a blob, you are really attempting to break it down into more manageable sizes that make it less of a threat. However, this makes it more of a threat in that you quickly become outnumbered by all the smaller parts of the blob. It is imperative, as written in the popular book, The Adventurer's Guides to Monster Hunting and Slaying, that the blob be quickly reduced to very small sizes. Otherwise, the numerous parts will overrun, or in this case, lie on you. In a footnote, the author adds, "It is better to run than to fight in most encounters with a blob, for should you stand and fight, you better have a quick, sharp blade or three." The amorphous blob is immortal, it cannot be killed, and it does not fear combat with others. Bludgeoning weapons are practically useless. Piercing weapons fare little better, but slashing weapons cut through the blob with ease. When a blob is successfully struck, it does not suffer any injuries. It merely splits into two equal smaller parts. These two parts act independently of each other, but with the eventual aim to re-emerge once a threat has been dealt with. Even though blobs eat, they do not need to eat regularly, as it is impossible to kill and dissect a blob. The exact internal workings of the creature will be forever a mystery. That's horrifying.
So that is the amorphous blob, a horrifying creature that you really don't want to encounter, but you want to chuck it in there anyway. If you like these videos, click the like button. You can also check me out on Facebook and Twitter. And if you'd like to support these videos, patreon.com/7dsystem. You can subscribe to this channel to see future monster videos that come out every week. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you in the next video, which is the Candy Spider.